but we're excited to have you all here. And Shad and Aiden, welcome back, welcome home. Okay, welcome to the family.
It's lovely to be back because SeriesFest
much.
has been kind of really good this. So it was, actually, to be fair, we've kind of wanted to come back ever since. We just haven't had anything to come back with. So, but every year we always sort of said we should try and make something for SeriesFest. So when Eat the Rich got in, that was kind of amazing.
Happy to help, absolutely. Yeah, really delighted to be involved. And I knew these were the guys who were going to make it happen. So I'm delighted that it's gone that way, you know.
Well, thank you so much. And it's truly a tremendous pilot and start to a series, and just really well done. And PJ, I want to bring my first question to you, which is, how did the concept come about?
Well, if I tilt, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, if I tilt my camera a few degrees in this direction,
Right.
you might be able to see the bicycle that I used when I was a bicycle courier in Belfast for a couple of years. It's something that had always interested me. I'd always been kind of fascinated by that culture, I think, from like the old James Cameron Dark Angel TV show and the William Gibson bridge novels, and just the idea of that kind of alternative lifestyle that was like happening in these big cities. And then I got a chance to work a few times with the actor Michael Smiley, who plays the bicycle courier character in Simon Pegg's sitcom Spaced, and just like loads of his stories from his days slinging paper in London and stuff. And then it was all just kind of percolating. That had been percolating for years, I suppose. And then when all the gig platform apps started coming out, started exploiting people, and then these sort of organic grassroots level unions started rising up against them. It was just like, just setting off all sorts of fireworks in my mind, you know.
Amazing. And, you know, it's incredible how the pilot starts. You really just kind of strap in and go. You know, you think it's going to be one thing and it turns into this sort of, you know, scene, you know, it's really amazing how it kind of just takes off and goes. And
I mean, Aidan and Sean have as much to do with that as I do. You know, they were veterans of the Storyland RTE, the funding scheme that we had, you know, to make an 18 to 20 minute film, and like the lessons learned through that. I think probably Aidan and Sean would agree that the first thing you got to do probably is hit the ground running, you know.
Definitely. Well, Aidan, you know, it's so beautifully shot. The production value, as to all your work, is just of the highest quality. And I wanted to hear a little bit about how you went about your process of kind of the production design, the shooting.
Well, again, I think it all goes back to like the actual story and the ideas of the script. And one of the things that I felt was really strong about was this jump between the haves and the have-nots, and I wanted you to see that on screen. You know, the first building we see is this gorgeous slick glass building, which is the same one used in Line of Duty, actually. And again, I was kind of a bit of a nightmare in prep, because I knew that was how you get your money on screen at like a tiny budget is the locations. So kind of really fought really hard for those. The squat in it is actually a bicycle repair kind of like place as well. And the production designer is a brilliant guy called John Leslie, who's so lovely. And the one thing I said to him was, I want to blow all our money on neon lights. So pretty much most of the budget was spent on neon strips. But again, it gives it this lovely, colorful vibe, because I sort of just wanted to, you know, I started playing with color a lot more just in the stuff that I'd made. And I kind of wanted to keep pushing that. And there's the lovely purple hues. But again, if you think the whole thing looks gorgeous, which it does, that's Aidan Galt, the DP. One of the big things that made me want to do this, aside from the script, was actually I sort of looked at it and realized this could be an unofficial FAR reunion. I could get Blaney back, I could get Beatty back, and I could get Galt back, and I got all of them back. And it was kind of lovely to sort of, you know, a couple of years down the line, work with everybody again, and you had that sort of shorthand on set, which really helped. And yeah, no, it was just, you know, you just have this sort of try and make the most out of everything, and that's down to where you put the camera, and even the, you know, the tiny little details of, even, this is going to sound silly, but you know, when they're doing the burglary, the purple gloves,
yeah,
that was something I was really fussy about, because it was like, we've all seen the boring, like, you know, just the white ones, let's do something a bit different. And then annoyingly, Ollie, who's one of the burglars, is a tattoo artist, and he turned up in the day and he's like, man, I could have brought black gloves, the tattoo ones. And we couldn't do it at that time, but it was kind of cool. But yeah, no, so it's all, and I do like a weird mood board shot list thing with screen grabs of stuff that I like, something that's close to what I have in my head. And then on set, it's pretty handy because you can just point to that and go, I think this kind of light or this sort of shot. And again, it's kind of interesting to look at when you finish because it's so different from that. That's just a starting idea. But I do think it helps when you're on a kind of tough schedule. It sort of really helps.
Absolutely. And Sean, talk to me a little bit about Eamon and how you approached the character and kind of what surprises and challenges you faced in this, because you really go, I think your emotional journey in this pilot, it's really quite prolific from the start, all the way to where he ends up kind of as a started as like loner, a little bit of loser, and leaves his job, and then trying to do the right thing, and then goes rock bottom to deliveries, and then kind of at the end becomes a leader. I mean, you really transform throughout the pilot.
Yeah, and credit to PJ for giving me someone that had quite a good journey. Like it was lovely. He was all there on the page, and in a very weird way, he's probably one of the characters that's closest to me in real life that I've got the chance to play in ages. So I didn't try to do too much with him. I tried to let PJ's writing come through and the way Aidan shoots things to come through. Aidan's got a lovely way when we get to set of just watching something before we shoot anything. So you've got an awful lot of freedom in play before you even really start. And a lot about Aidan was going to be dictated by the people that were around him. So when I heard that Ian Beattie was coming back to be his boss, that dictated an awful lot of the way that he would be in work. When you've got a big, imposing, chocolatey voiced man like Ian across from you. And also the rest of the team. The rest of the team turned out to be, the cast, the bicycle couriers, turned out to be like this lovable bunch of misfits. And that kind of, again, showed me how he should be when he's with them. And like he finds this family by the end of it that I wasn't actually expecting when I got this. I thought his journey was different, but seeing the guys, seeing the location with the bike shop and the kind of fun that we had on set, it was like, this feels like it has to end up like a family more than anything. And it was lovely. The hardest thing about it for me was cycling, because I haven't cycled in about 15 years. It was honestly trying to make it look like I was going fast when I wasn't.
Yeah, we didn't give him a very good bike either. We gave him my dad's old 90s Dawes mountain bike, like steel frame, must weigh like 14 kilos at least. I don't know if you want to translate that for your own.
And at one point, there's a scene where I'm standing beside the bike fixing it, and I had to go to PJ and go like, so what should I be using the wrench on at the minute? I have no idea.
Just don't break anything. Just like, if we need the bike for more scenes, so just don't maybe touch it. Just do a bit of this.
It's kind of worthwhile maybe telling them about Christina as well, actually, who I think is phenomenal in this.
Christina, who plays Nico,
Yes.
I was actually teaching a film class in London, and she was one of my students. And when Aidan sent the script through, it was like, you have to see this girl, you have to give her a chance to audition for it. And it's her first, not just her first professional job, it's her first job, first acting gig. And she knocked it out of the park. So this whole time, it was as much just sitting across from her and going, I'm a very proud, happy teacher, and getting to act across from someone who was great. She was fantastic. So I'll always cherish this, not just for the job, but that Christina was in it and she did such a good job.
The brief was so tough. Like, I knew I'd written this character that we weren't going to be able to find probably in Belfast. This like, probably in my head had always been Eastern European, but we were open and we did cast all around, and we were like open to all kinds of options, Aidan, weren't we? And then eventually Sean just nailed the very first idea I had for the character right to the post when he turned up with Christina. So it was real team effort on that one, I think.
And it was kind of really fortunate because Sean had sent the self-tape through, and it was the middle of prep and everything was kind of going a bit nuts. And there was another actress, I think, kind of we were talking to that fell through. And then I went, oh yeah, Sean sent that self-tape through. And like, we might as well, I must go and look at it. And I just watched it and went, oh my God, she's really good. And I rang Sean, and I'm like, Sean, she is this good, isn't she? And Sean's like, yeah, she's that good. And if you watch it, I don't know if you felt this way, Randy, but she looks different in almost every scene. there's something really striking about her visually, and to be honest, some of that is actually also down to the hair and makeup team. Like they did amazing stuff with her, but yeah.
Especially
It's
the last,
wonderful.
that last scene where you hear the suitcase rolling down, she just has like a whole different look. Like it was cool. Like you can see that she's kind of malleable and able to, you can see why she was able to pull it off. Like she's got able to do that. It was really well done, and the chemistry in the whole cast I thought was really fantastic. You could really feel it, and it was exciting. How many days did you shoot for? What was that process like?
Does anyone remember? I'm
I
terrible.
want to say 4?
4? Yeah.
It can't have been any less than 4, surely.
We really stretched the bike stuff. There's very little bike stuff. It would have been nice to maybe do an extra half day of just people riding bike shots, but at the end of the day, I think it does what it should, and the score and the sound effects for the bike stuff really helped because we'd like nothing. We used like one shot of Sean, I think reversed or something, to kind of stretch it out a bit more.
Yeah, the music is really, really fantastic.
James Everett is amazing. Yeah, he really sounds like he should be doing Fincher movies, and he kind of really pushed that. And working with James, he's very he can hit the emotional core of stuff really easily. Like that scene where Sean and her clink bottles. The score just adds so much to that, and the neon, and then the actors are good too, so it's pretty good.
Good team. Well, we're actually down to our final question here, and I would love to continue talking to you all day. But my last one, PJ, can you give us a little teaser about maybe what would come next?
Oh, well, let's just say that it's not just Colin that the gang want to take down. I think the pilot, we see what could be a whole story in 20 minutes, but we could have 4 episodes before we get to taking Colin down, and we could have another 2 episodes after that where we maybe look at taking the whole company down.
Very cool. Very exciting. You guys, thank you so much. Eat the Rich is phenomenal. We're thrilled to have it in SeriesFest. I look forward to hanging out with you guys and getting to know you more, PJ, as we get into SeriesFest in June. And just thank you guys for taking the time to do this with me today. All over here. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, Randy.
Thank you. Cheers.